What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Redriveraviation. Hope you're having a fantastic day today, and today a very exciting unboxing for you all. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Gemini200 1:200 scale Air Canada Express Embraer ERJ-175, and this is the factory issued enhanced winglet aircraft. So I hope all of you are excited for this today. You can definitely see that it's marked out and not supposed to be an actual release, but I'll go ahead and explain the story of this as we get into today's video. So first and foremost, this aircraft comes from the airplane shop in Las Vegas, which is absolutely amazing. I'm very excited to get that video out for you all. It is fantastic, but there's been a few other YouTubers that made really good videos on it, so feel free to check those out in the meantime. Anyway, though, going back to this particular aircraft, this, I believe, was in the summer of 2020. I might be wrong, but it was sometime around then, because I remember getting the 1:400 release with the normal winglets. It all went fine late in 2019, I believe November maybe. Anyway, though, they did this aircraft in 1:200 the following year, I believe in the summer, like I said, maybe June or so. But I remember seeing on the Gemini Jet social medias that the aircraft ended up having the wrong winglets, and everybody caught it immediately, and they immediately took it off production. So as a result, they obviously had to pull this aircraft. And with that being said, what happened with it was now they still have plenty of them in the airplane shop, or at least a good handful left from over 4 years ago now, which is crazy. And I've just been selling them at a large discount. So due to that really cool story, and I think it is cool to, really, this is a great time to appreciate how precise the factories are and how good of a job they do to not make more mistakes like this more often. I thought this would be a good model to have to kind of illustrate, why it's, great to appreciate what we currently have and the attention to detail that they have there. Obviously very mundane jobs for those employees and whatnot. So the seminar I did with Todd Models and all the other videos with him really go into great detail on the subjects that are important to appreciate, and this model definitely backs that up. So great to have it. I believe it was $20, so definitely not a hefty price tag, but again, it's more for the significance of what this aircraft represents for the model aircraft landscape more so than the actual plane. So that being said, Gemini200, they had to mark it out obviously since they took it way down, so that's why all the branding's marked off, but the Embraer ERJ-175. So once again, very interesting what happened with this aircraft, 2020 release. And yeah, the actual aircraft is completely marked up, so I actually have my invoice there for my airplane shop orders, so that will be featured in that massive unboxing, so definitely check that out when you get a chance to. But anyway, yeah, let's go ahead and take a look. So again, this is completely nail polish removed, completely wiped down, just doesn't even exist anymore. So this is it. This is what would have been the Air Canada E175 with enhanced winglets, but due to the reasons mentioned previously, this aircraft had to be compromised in those ways. So nail polish remover all through the aircraft, as you can see here. So obviously not as much detail to work with, but this definitely still could be a custom candidate. I might, think about doing a project with it, but I kind of just, once again, I think it's important to realize the purpose of this aircraft, so I may not even touch it. I may just leave it exactly like this. But anyway, this is our unmarked Air Canada ERJ-175. So yeah, definitely very interesting to think about what happened with this aircraft. I know I've mentioned that several times, but just looking at it, there's no other thoughts I can really be had besides the mold's fantastic. This is actually my first 1:200 E175, which is kind of surprising. I would have liked to have got the American or maybe an Alaska one at this point, but at this time we have this one to work with. So it is a very fascinating model, pretty interesting to look at. So with that being said, we won't waste any further time and go ahead and get into this. And I believe there's quite a few videos out there on YouTube that feature the aircraft. I don't think there's an actual, video explaining what happened. So hopefully that introductory helped out. But yeah, this was already several years ago, which is crazy to think about. But that said, let's go ahead and take a look. So here's the cockpit windows. Great detail here on this mold, by the way. This is really good. So all that looks really nice. Got the windshield wipers. Here's the nose cone, and you can get some various pitot tubes and whatnot here in the front, so that's really nice. Nose landing gear looks really great. There's the detail on that for the strut, along with the hub and tire. So really good job by them for representing all that detail. This is where the Star Alliance logo would have went, and then of course you have the L1 door here, which is nicely detailed. Luckily on this particular example, it hasn't been touched much, so there's definitely potential to work with this. So that's definitely really cool to see. So honestly, it would probably be a really good United Express custom. I know they've made that model before, but judging off of the placement of all the titles and all that, and how the winglets are, I think this would be a good one. That would be one of the best ones. But this is going to be pretty tough to get off, but I'm sure it's possible. Anyway, you have the passenger windows, so of course you're going to start with first class and move into their economy plus offerings, and that would be followed by economy. This is where the Air Canada titles, or sorry, this is the Express titles placement. So you have the logo right here, and Express would be here, and then the Air Canada titles would be here on the top. I absolutely love the various detail up here, including the panels. Then you got the beacon and then the antennas that are nice and stubby, exactly how they're supposed to be. This is one of the best components of the mold, and overall I think they did a fantastic job representing all that, so definitely happy to see that. Here's the engines. They look really nice, the CE34s, I believe. They look really great, so good job there on the cowling along with the exhaust and then the actual fan blades themselves. Let's go ahead and take a look at those. So yeah, really good detail there. They look really nice. Love the spinner as well. This one's also missing a tire, which is not a huge deal, but I kind of noticed that once I got it out, just to glance at it real quick. But anyway, it's all right. So yeah, you have that right there, and there's the wing there. Really great detail there on these speed brakes, flaps, and slats. And then you got the panel detail down there too. So that looks really nice. So yeah, definitely interesting to see all the detail there, and all of it came together nicely. So definitely happy to see that any given day. Then you have the next antennas. So you have that top one and the bottom one as well, and that's followed into the stubby one right there. And then you got the registration, which would have been Charlie Foxtrot Echo Juliet Bravo, which is a normal 175. In fact, I think the 400 does have that registration, but obviously had to be removed for the aforementioned reasons. Ember 175, here is the second door right there, which is quite nice, and I think they did a good job there with all the detail on the lever and whatnot, so happy to see that. Looks really great. And then right there you got the Air Canada logo, where it would have been, of course, which easier to take off obviously, so that's definitely nice, and it looks pretty cool. You got the APU horizontal stabilizers, and again, I think this would be a really good United candidate. This right side didn't quite fare as well on the nail polish remover. It's going to be tough with that. I think they did end up somehow missing that baggage door, so I think it is very savable. It's going to take quite the effort though. Obviously you can see a little bit of residue there on the wing, but I think it's all very, very savable. So again, I might just keep it as it is though. I haven't quite decided. I got where the registration would go, the back cargo door, so all that looks nice, and there's the wing, and then of course you got the tail as well. So all that looks really nice, and again, I think they did a good job on this particular offering, so definitely cool to see that. Top of the aircraft looks very nice. No major notes besides obviously where that little bit of scuff came off there for the winglet detail, so that's just kind of how it goes. Not really much you can do about that. And here's the bottom of the aircraft, which they did a good job on that Air Canada logo, getting that off. That came off pretty easily, so great to see that, along with the Gemini Jets logo and stand hole. And then of course you got those main landing gear as I talked about. So I'd have to come up with the tire, but I think I might be able to email them and possibly get a tire for that down the road. Again, just depends, but I am pretty tempted to keep it in its current state, just to again represent, you know, how fortunate we are that we don't have more of these hiccups like this on a regular occurrence. You know, I'm sure that they have issues like this every now and again, but obviously this one slipped past Gemini, which, considering how many models they make, it's very understandable, and all the diversity that comes with that, you know, with all the, you know, it's just the winglets here in this case, you know, it wasn't like it was a different livery or whatever. So anyway, though, definitely quite the story with this aircraft, and again, I really hope all of you enjoyed today's assessment of it. Definitely an interesting one to have, but it all worked out for the reasons that we've talked about, and that is why we're here now. So again, I really hope all of you enjoyed it. Thank you all so much for watching today's video. Take it easy, everybody. Stay safe, trust the process. Do you love and love you do. My name is Redriveraviation. I want to thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you all soon as Redriveraviation is signing off.